JBNN keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones. Before we get into the news, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and share the news with someone today. Now onto the news. Man gunned down in Negril, Westmoreland. A man was shot and killed in an area known as Little Haiti in Negril, Westmoreland last night. That is Kemar Evans Williams, otherwise called Emperor, a mason of Non-Peril Road in Negril. According to reports, around 11 o'clock, Williams went to a shop in the informal community when he was pounced upon and shot by unknown assailants. He was assisted to the Savlamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. No motive has been established for the murder. The Negril Criminal Investigation Branch is probing the killing.
Yo. Well, you look like you're ready. You sound like you're ready. You feel like you're ready. And even though the mic not ready.
Yeah.
And even.
Yeah.
And even though the mic. And the blood. Yo.
Golden apologizes for uttering expletive on campaign trail. People's National Party President Mark Golding has apologized for uttering an expletive picked up by a hot mic last Friday.
And comrades, it sounds like we have a good microphone system tonight. Last night, I was at another function, and I pure problem with the microphone. And me butter a little BC under my breath. Me never mean anybody to hear it. And a live feed pick it up. So I just want to say to anybody who heard it and feel offended, sorry here, sir. Me never mean no disrespect. Me never mean to offend nobody. Me's a humble youth and I will be a youth. And I would never disrespect Jamaican people.
Mechanic charged after drugs found concealed in seasoning. A 51-year-old mechanic has been charged after allegedly attempting to send ganja receipts concealed in all-purpose seasoning, while 2 others have been charged in connection with a cocaine seizure. The police say on January 29, 2025, Jason Josephs of Wakefield District, Linstead, St. Catherine, attempted to send a package labeled all-purpose seasoning to London from a St. Catherine post office. During routine security screening, anomalies were detected, prompting the involvement of the Firearms and the Narcotics Investigation Division (FNID). A search of the parcel allegedly revealed 8 ounces of ganja. Following an operation on July 10, Josephs was apprehended and subsequently charged with possession of ganja, dealing in ganja, attempting to export ganja, and conspiracy to export ganja. Also on Saturday, 48-year-old John Todd of Perivale Avenue, Kingston 8, and 49-year-old Errol White, a farmer of East Riverside Drive, Kingston 19, were charged with possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, trafficking cocaine, and conspiracy to traffic cocaine. According to reports, about 3:30 p.m., FNID personnel intercepted a Honda motor car along the North-South Highway. A search of the vehicle uncovered 7 parcels of cocaine with an estimated street value of $4 million Jamaican dollars. Todd and White, who were occupants of the vehicle, were arrested and formally charged. FNID says it is investigating more than 100 cases since the start of the year in which drugs have been found in packages sent through courier services. In some instances, up to 1 pound of cocaine has been found. 34 killed in 29 fatal crashes in June, says ITA. 34 people have been killed in 29 fatal crashes in the month of June, according to the Island Traffic Authority, ITA. Fatalities increased by 31% when compared to June 2024, while fatal crashes were up to 26% during the reporting period. The authority said in its latest statistics released on Friday, July 11, with 6 fatalities each, the parishes of St. James, Clarendon, and St. Catherine accounted for more than 50% of the road deaths during the month. St. Elizabeth recorded 5 deaths, while St. Anne and St. Mary each had 2. There were 2 fatalities each recorded in Westmoreland and St. Andrew, while Hanover had 1. The safest parishes for road users during the month of June were Kingston, Portland, St. Thomas, and Trelawney, which recorded no deaths as a result of motor vehicle crashes. Meanwhile, the ITA said private motor vehicle drivers accounted for 29% or 10 fatalities in June 2025. Private motor vehicle driver fatalities increased by 43% when compared to June 2024. The statistics show that private motor vehicle passengers accounted for 24% or 8 fatalities during the month. Private motor vehicle passenger fatalities have increased by 100% or 4 when compared to June 2024. The ITA said pedestrians accounted for 18% or 6 fatalities during the month. Pedestrian fatalities are up 100% when compared to June 2024. Regarding motorcyclists, 6 were killed in June, representing 18% of the fatalities recorded during the month. Motorcycle fatalities have increased by 14% or 1 when compared to June 2024. Overall, 199 road users have been killed in 174 fatal crashes since the start of the year. Fatalities decreased by 3% when compared to prior year, while fatal crashes are down by 3% when compared to the similar period in 2024. Motorcyclists account for 53 or 27% of fatalities since the start of the year. Private motor vehicle drivers account for 41 or 21%. Pedestrians account for 39 or 20%. Private motor vehicle passengers account for 31 or 16%. Pedal cyclists account for 11 or 6%. And the pillion passengers account for 10 fatalities or 5%. According to the statistics, males account for 85% and females 15% of the fatalities since the start of the year. Young people turning to gangs instead of meaningful work, PM laments. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the government is concerned that young people are turning to gangs instead of seeking meaningful employment. Speaking Thursday at the groundbreaking and contract signing ceremony for the West End expansion project at the Kingston Port, Prime Minister Holness warned that Jamaica is losing its human resources to crime and the gang culture. He said, as a result, companies are struggling to find skilled labor.
One of the challenges we face as a country is we simply are not able to, for the next decade, identify the labor force that will be necessary to carry the growth. It's a problem that you're going to feel the crunch in the next decade, in the decade coming, even though you're starting to see it now. But it is something that we have to really think about. And it is a real challenge that we are losing so many of our good human resources, our good talent, our good labor, because they are tied up in crime. They don't want to come out of the gangs. They don't want to leave their communities. They take a negative attitude, antisocial attitude towards work, and what that does, it locks them into that for the rest of their lives. And some of the social commentary reinforces and supports them there, right, without realizing that they're doing them a disservice, when the social commentary should be encouraging them to come out of crime, put down the gun, put down the thug lifestyle, and go and find a work. Yes, there must be no compromise on human rights, but that doesn't say you must not be firm and decisive and instrumental in dealing with crime and violence. Because that firm and instrumental approach will be beneficial to you, but it is also beneficial to that youngster.
The West End expansion project will result in a more than 25% increase in container storage space at the Kingston Port. The initiative is a partnership between the Port Authority of Jamaica and the Kingston Freeport Terminal and is an investment of more than $80 million. It will create 500 new jobs. In today's feature, we'll look at the improvements taking place in the National Land Agency.
The National Land Agency (NLA) is on a mission to maintain a reliable land information infrastructure that facilitates proper administration and sustainable development. The NLA is executing that mission with an eye on delivering excellent service that takes advantage of cutting-edge technology. Several drones owned and operated by the NLA are part of the technological transformation behind the agency's enhanced delivery of service to clients. In 2018, when the entity commenced acquisition of unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs or drones, it was just for its photogrammetry activities to aid in mapping and surveying.
The approach we're using prior to 2019, the technology behind it was becoming obsolete, and we're having challenges finding parts for the equipment that we were using because it was primarily mechanical at the time. And having done the research, realized that what we wanted to do or what we were doing could have been done utilizing drones. The other side of the equation was the fact that we needed to be more efficient and also find ways of being cost effective in doing what we were doing. We managed to get a core set of officers trained and implemented what we call train the trainer. So having trained a core set, we then utilize that same set of officers to train others within the unit. I think it's one of the best moves we would have made on the side of the agency, because in terms of the transformation that it has brought about.
Since then, the NLA has expanded the use of drone technology beyond mapping and surveying to other areas of its operations, such as land valuation and estate management.
For mapping, we need to capture imagery of areas all across the island for various purposes. So, if we need imagery to capture how the slope of a particular property is, then we capture the imagery for that. Or we'll capture the imagery for a town, and we will use that to update our maps in-house. Cadastral surveys, they want to be able to find boundaries, precise boundaries, and the drones can actually assist in that regard.
Drones make it possible for the National Land Agency to capture aerial images in areas with rugged and challenging terrain, which otherwise would have been difficult and costly to execute.
We do spend less time now to get the same work done, and we get that work done at higher quality and with greater precision. And so, for example, for valuation, we've done properties that are over 1,000 acres, and before a valuator would actually take more than 5 days to actually, peruse the property to find out what is there, and they wouldn't really get everything that's on ground. They will just get the best. They'll do the best that they can. But now we can take half a day to do that with the drones, and we have imagery of everything. And so what you find as well, in addition to the efficiency, the capital outlay, the money that we spend is much more efficient now as well.
Aerial images captured with the drones are processed using other technology to create the various maps and three-dimensional products.
These data are then returned to us in the photogrammetric section that we use different technology, mainly drone to map, to stitch these information, these digital files together in order to create what we call an orthophoto. From this orthophoto, we can extract whatever information we need, mainly like roads, building, drain, and a contour to create what we call either digital or paper-based map. And what we find with the drone images, we can have accuracy up to 5 centimeters. This we couldn't achieve before. Generally, the accuracy from the aerial photos we had before was like 5 meters, plus or minus 5 meters. Now we are down to 5 centimeters. So it greatly helps us in producing highly accurate map for the agency and the country at large.
As it relates to creation of cadastral maps, we are exploring the extent to which that can actually be done.
And so one of the products that we're creating, and this is kind of a futuristic product that we're experimenting with, is a 3D cadaster, where we now give a real life look to what the data is out there.
The future is technology, and the National Land Agency is embracing this future as
JBNN will keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.